In the name of Allah, the merciful, the beneficent, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. It is Allah alone that we worship. Is the messenger. It is His aid that we seek. I come to y'all in peace in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum. I'm gonna dive on in. Where best way to dive on in is to dive on in without consuming too much time. The present day, the number one condition, the number one thing that God commanded Adam to do was to watch what you eat. God told Adam, "You free to eat from any tree of the garden, except the garden of knowledge, except from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil." The very first thing that messes people up is what they putting into their system. A lot of y'all treat y'all's cars better than y'all treat yourself because y'all put the right gas into your car. You drive a regular car, you put 87, 89, or 93 in your gas. You know what I mean? that goes to regular car. You don't put diesel gas into your car. Why? Because you understand that your car needs regular gas, 89 or 93 to run. You don't put diesel gas into a regular gasoline engine. It will mess it up. Well, unfortunately, y'all have a better understanding of to put the right gas in your car than to put the right gas, than to put the right food into your body. Did that make sense? Anyway, just gonna dive on in. Just gonna dive on in. How to Eat to Live from God in Person, Master Fard Muhammad, wrote by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Can y'all see a better picture of him? This man right here. Look at him very close. Understand what the world did not understand. That man right there taught Muhammad Ali. That man right there taught Malcolm X. That man right there taught the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Powerful man. He had a powerful teacher, Master Fard Muhammad. This man right here had a 4th grade education. He only made to the 3rd grade. Accomplished. He was going to the 4th grade when the school closed. He said, when I got to the door, brother, the school closed. The school shut down on him in the 4th grade. A man, 4th grade educational reading level, amassed millions, built mosques, taught Malcolm X, taught Muhammad Ali, taught Minister Louis Farrakhan. And from their teachings, you see what been produced. Peace and blessings be upon you, dear apostle. I wish I could have met you in the days when you're alive. I look forward to seeing you one day. Page 36, How to Eat to Live from God in Person, Master Fard Muhammad, by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Page 36. Since being given knowledge by the all-wise one in the person of Master Fard Muhammad on how to eat to live, we should not confuse ourselves by studying the advice of all the people, doctors, and quacks of the world on what kind of medicine, vegetables, meats, herbs, and fruits we should eat. If we keep getting advice on the above after getting the correct advice, we will never enjoy good health. God will give you proper advice. If we keep getting advice on the above after getting the correct advice, we will never enjoy good health. It's going to be in a constant cycle doing the same thing. If you want to be, all will be confusion, as it is, right? As I mentioned earlier, nearly all vegetables are good to eat that have been classified by the scientists who study the poisons that the vegetables contain, as well as the non-poisons they contain. We do not need to eat everything just because the Bible in Genesis said that God said that Adam, who represents the white race, could eat nearly all of the herbs of the earth. that are not poisonous. Our scientists teach us of that which is poisonous and of that which is not poisonous. If we are travelers and are stranded, we eat whatever we find edible, to the non-poisonous roots and the bark off trees. But this is not good for us if we wish to live a long time, because our stomachs are not made to digest the bark off trees and roots of trees or blades of grass and leaves. Our stomachs were not made to live off raw foods, except certain raw foods, such as fruits, which beyond a shadow of a doubt should be eaten raw, never cooked. When we cook fruit, it takes away the vital property that is necessary for our good health. An apple or peaches or berries is better eaten raw than cooked. Unless our health and body are weak and unable to digest the raw apple, there is a great need for knowledge on what to cook as well as how to cook it. We can live a long, great, and healthy life just by drinking good, wholesome milk and eating good whole wheat bread if the bread is cooked correctly. Some people will eat a whole wheat kernel, but this is not good to do because it is the whole of the seed, and our stomachs are not made to digest the raw wheat seeds, regardless of the great property of vitamins in them. The whole wheat kernel should be milled and ground very fine. When you are ready to make bread, add water and yeast to it and set it aside to sour. This will put it in a better digestive state to be cooked properly for your stomach to digest. Cook it slowly after it has risen a couple of times in the mold. This must be done thoroughly so that all of the risen cake or loaf is thoroughly cooked through and through under the heat of the oven. After it is cooked, do not eat it until it has set a day or two. Even 3 days is not too long to wait for it. It is never stale because of age if kept in the right place. Never eat freshly cooked bread of any kind, as it is difficult for the stomach to digest. The same applies to beans and whatever you eat. Cook them thoroughly, but do not cook them in such a way as to destroy the vitamins or proteins that are in them to strengthen and build your bodies and the tissue of your bodies. Some people pull the brown off the crust of the bread to eat the unbrowned core. But by doing this, you are throwing away the most digestible part of the bread and accepting that part which is hard to digest. I remember when I was young, Suave Cruz and used to laugh at me sometimes because I used to throw bread behind the stove. Word, I take like the little white bread with the little white girl, the sunbeam bread. I always eat the crust. I ain't never eat the white part in the middle. I always rip that part out and take the crust and fold it and just eat that junk. Word, I promise you. I take 2 slices of bread, rip the white part out and just fold the crust in and just eat the crust. And the rest of it, I throw it behind the stove. That's what I used to do when I was young. Word up, they'd be like, bro, you tripping. I was making a mess. Word, but I was on the right track even then. Didn't know it. I was eating that white part of the bread. Word, I'm telling you, a lot of people they rip the crust off and like the white part. Bro, I always ripped the white part out and ate the crust. Word. Y'all who know me, bear me witness. Word, y'all, only the people who know. Word. Toast that is brown through and through is much easier on our stomachs than the slice of bread that is not toasted. We can live longer by eating several varieties of food. Never think that you are a great healthy person just because you eat a lot of meat, white bread, cornbread, sweet pastry, or a lot of peas and beans. You are only taking a quick trip to the cemetery. Yes, a quick trip to the cemetery. If we indulge in too much of anything, it becomes an enemy to us. Remember at all times when you are eating that you are to live and not to die, as I said previously in this book. White bread and cornbread are not good for our stomachs to digest. Regardless of how many hundreds and thousands of people eat this before you 3 times a day, it is still not the food for you and me to eat if we wish to live a long and healthy life. America's people consume more sweets than any other people on the earth. Sugars and everything. I was at yesterday morning. Was it yesterday morning? Yeah, yesterday morning. I was in what's that store called? I was at Sheets. And this is black dude. Dude was in the store. I think he was kind of had a little problem or something. I don't think he was too right in the head. But he said something when I walked past. Said, "I like your hat, man." I said, "All right, that's what's up, bro." And then dude said something. He just got out of the hospital. Something said his blood pressure. He said he got too much sugar in his blood or something. I said, bro. No, he said his sugar low. That's what he said. He said, I just got out of the hospital. My sugar low or something. I said, bro, that's a good thing. I said, where? You said like it's a bad thing. It's a good thing your sugar low. It ain't supposed to be high. You ain't supposed to have a lot of sugar in your body. Where? When I say you got low blood sugar, where? Dude said that to me. I said, bro, that's a good thing. I said, you don't want to have too much sugar in your blood. And then dude said something like, bro, he said, he asked me to buy him something, like a piece of a honey bun or something. I said, that I looked out for him, whatever. I'm just saying, many people probably, they don't even, many people, they unknowingly, like, there's a lot of sugar in the messing the people. Dude said his sugar low. That's a good thing. Or reason too much sugar in the body. You know what I mean? But word, dude damn sure said that. Dude said, I just got out the hospital, the sugar low in my body. I said, bro, that's a good thing. Word. You know what I mean? And then like 2 seconds after he asked me to buy him honey bun or something. I got he wasn't too right in the head. I can tell. You know what I mean? Like, word. But that's a good thing when you're sugar down. Word. Many people. America's people consume more sweets than any other people on the earth. Right. They love their sweets, fat pies, cookies, and cakes at every meal. America has better trouble with their health. Eating too many sweets piles up sugar in the blood, and it becomes the enemy of our lives. Our blood is our life. Understand that. Our blood is our life. All right. Many people, y'all red signs be going. Y'all don't pay no attention, man. Y'all be like waiting till stuff too late to try to this and that. Just think of the way we destroy our lives by eating too many sweets or too much meat or eating white bread and cornbread. Ask yourself that question. America is a great candy seller. She reaps a harvest of wealth on just selling sweet candies and nuts. They fill the candy full of nuts, as well as their cakes, cookies, and other pastries. The only thing with stomach enough to digest nuts is an animal. Birds love nuts, and they have what it takes to digest them. Nature made them that way. Just as horses can digest corn and anything else in their line of food, birds, squirrels, hogs, coons, rabbits, and worms can digest nuts. They can eat nuts and digest them, and they will not wear out their stomachs like yours would wear out trying to digest them. It's a fact. Anyone of y'all ever ate corn? And you go use the bathroom, you see the corn still in the store. Your body ain't break down the corn. That's common sense. I noticed that. I know this ain't a touchy subject, but word, y'all just look. You'll see what's passing through your system, breaking down good or not. Word, you also see what you eat. That's make your junk look that. Anyway, a lot of y'all eat the Taco Bell and stuff like that. Y'all junk be like running. Right? Word, it ain't supposed to be. Like, yo, when you use the bathroom, it should be kind of like solid, like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's too liquidy, like something a little wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's me letting you know. Like, when y'all eat the tacos and stuff, y'all just be, where, you know, when you get like diarrhea, the jump be like liquid or something, because something ain't right. You know what I mean? Word. When you, quite often, y'all be eating, right? This and that. I know it's not a touchy subject, but we're not a subject many people like to talk about, but all y'all experience this every day. I don't give a damn if you Beyonce. Use the bathroom, don't you, Shorty? Word. Give a damn who you is, how bad you is, how much makeup you got on, what you look like, all this and that. I don't give a damn how bad you is. Shorty, you go to the bathroom too, don't you, Shorty? Yeah. Word is mine. I don't give a damn what you're talking about. Word. You know? But this is what is wrong. If y'all want it, they don't want to tell y'all them I tell. Or a lot of people don't want your boyfriend ain't gonna talk about this with you. You know what I mean? It ain't a subject. Most people, it's on top of the discussion. You know, people they don't want to talk about that, but you experiencing. That's what we talk. That's what we talking about. You go to your doctor to talk about this. You go to the gynecologist to talk about that, so on and so on. Well, you gonna come to Rashada, damn it, and we're gonna speak about the truth. We're gonna talk facts. All right, and this is for everybody, all ages. It's relevant. All right, and the younger the better. Word. To have a knowledge ahead of time. Anyway, just as horses can digest corn and anything else in their line of food, birds, squirrels, hogs, coons, rabbits, and worms can digest nuts. They can eat nuts and digest them, and they will not wear out their stomachs like yours will wear out trying to digest them. A dog's stomach and his digestive juices are like any carnivorous eating animals. He can digest a steak, a rare steak. Rare is not cooked all the way. He can digest the rare steak. In fact, he can digest it as soon as he kills the animal. You do not have to cook their food. Animals don't want their food cooked. They don't need their food cooked. Where the animals? Do you heat up your dog food before you give it to your dog, or you just put it in the tray and give it to him? Cold. You know, where animals don't need their food heat up. They don't like hot food like how we like hot food, right? They do not like it cooked. They like their meat raw. That is the way nature made them, to take it raw. People like the white people who love dogs and other animals change their way of eating so that it is against the very nature in which they were created to eat. You cannot make him a member of your family by seating him at the table to eat good cooked food. He will live off of it, but it is not the way nature made him to eat. Try offering him some raw meat and cooked meat. He will eat the raw meat before he will eat the cooked meat. Where I've been at restaurants with some of my Caucasian brothers, where they you ever heard that term? When you go to a restaurant, they ask, how you want your steak? Would you like it rare, medium rare, or well done? Yeah, well done is overcooked. Medium rare is cooked almost through. And rare is like when it's just been sizzled on the outside. It's brown on the outside, but on the inside it's like red still. Most people like their food, like a lot of Caucasian brothers, they eat their steak and stuff rare. If y'all ever heard that term, they want the stuff rare. That means almost raw. Word. All right. Word. If you don't know what those terms mean, they ask you, how you want your steak when you go to a restaurant? Rare, medium rare, or well done. Word. If you want your steak cooked all the way, you want it well done. Word. Food that's not cooked is not appealing. Not to me. If I was to see a turkey that just had his head cut off and they plucked it and picked it, I smell it. It don't smell appetizing. But if I smell that turkey or that chicken being cooked, smell that joint down the street. Damn, boy. I'm about to feed y'all today. Word up. I smell that all the way down the street, my boy. Yeah, you know, you ride down the street, you can smell the food all the way down the road. Damn, that junk smell good. Something dead and it's not cooked, it don't got that same appeal. You know what I mean? Word. Try offering him some raw meat and cooked meat. He will eat the raw meat before he will eat the cooked meat. Offer a cat a piece of raw fish and a piece of cooked fish, and see which she will eat first. Raw foods appeal to their appetites as cooked food appeals to ours, but we can eat them both. It is very dangerous for you, whose civilization is not limited, the black man, but is limited if you follow the limited ones, the Caucasian brothers. Not making mockery or jokes, it's just truth. The blind lead the blind, both fall into a pit. Word. If the blind leads somebody that can see, and if the blind leading someone that can see, obviously you ain't got too much sight. If you following a blind person, you should be leading them. Correct? But it is very dangerous for you, whose civilization is not limited, the black man, but is limited and will be limited if you follow the limited ones, the Caucasian brother. To follow a civilization made by nature for a short time in their ways, this is what we have been doing, and this is what we must stop doing if we expect to survive. There are hundreds of drugstores throughout the country into which we should not go for anything except first aid if we hurt ourselves down the street or road somewhere, not for something to stop headaches and pains in our stomach caused by eating the wrong food. Many of our problems are caused from what we put into our system. And we can't cheat and take medicine and keep on putting the wrong things into our system thinking stuff gonna work out. That is ludicrous. That is crazy. That is what's the word? Insane. To keep on doing the same thing and expect a different result. That is the definition of the word insanity. To keep on doing the same exact thing and expecting a different result. That is the definition of insane. To keep on doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. What? We shouldn't go to these people to, listen. We should not call the doctor for such foolish things and ignorant mistakes as eating the wrong food and eating it too often. We should be ashamed to call the doctor for these errors. Eating the wrong food and eating it too often starts trouble in the physical body everywhere, from the sole of your feet to the crown of your head. As I said, you do not have to eat everything that people say is good to eat. It is a fool who does that. You do not need everything that is good to eat to live a happy life. Take some of those things that are good to eat. Of course, you should have a balanced diet. I certainly agree with you there. There are several ways you can prepare your meat and bread that will give you a sharp appetite at every meal if you prepare it differently. Bread can be cooked 2 or 3 times, and also meat. It is best for our stomachs and our longevity. They both should be cooked twice before eating. Of course, they will not look as fancy as when they are freshly cooked, because the more you cook them, the more the surface beauty fades away. But the more permanent your life will be, and that good old stomach will last a long, long time if you allow it to rest after a hearty meal. No matter how good the meal was or how easily digested, allow your stomach to rest. Give your stomach from 24 to 36 hours to rest to digest its food. And if you can take 48 hours or 72 hours, that is fine. But first try 24 hours and then 48 hours. Do not try to start with 48 and 72. Get used to eating one meal a day. Then, when your appetite is not so strong for that next meal, by eating once every 24 hours, start eating every 48 hours. Never start 72 hours regularly until you are able to do so. Some of us have started eating every 48 to 72 hours and have to change back to one meal a day. This is not good to do. Fast 72 hours every now and then, and while you are eating once every day, if you want to, once a month, or once every 2 or 3 months. Never eat more than one meal a day unless you are sick and unable to eat the proper food due to the weakness of the body to carry you over 24 hours. I repeat, the main thing in How to Eat to Live is to eat only once a day or once every other day. This will take care of everything. You cannot go all over the earth trying to eat everything that people say is good to eat. But give what you do eat time to get out of the way for the next meal. And the effect that it probably would cause. Brothers and sisters, let your stomachs rest. I haven't eaten none yet. Why? I'm thinking about what the brother said. It makes perfect sense. I feel better too. To be honest with you. Listen. Brothers and sisters, let your stomachs rest. Stop trying to eat 3 meals a day and all in between. That is enough to kill chickens and hogs. Anyone who eats all the time has a very short life. Our greatest trouble when it comes to sickness is due to staying at the table. Eating too much and too often. You have no regularity about your eating at all. Eat at any time, they will tell you. One of the gravest wrongs you could do is eat when you do not want to. They say behind that, eat before you get hungry. That don't even make sense. They say behind that, eat before you get hungry. Right? Which is one of the silliest things of all. If your stomachs are not asking you for food, please, brothers and sisters, do not put any in. The stomach will let you know. Wait until you are really hungry. Do not act like a pig and want food every time you see it. Nature did not make the hog and bird with any regularity in eating. Although hogs will stop eating when they get enough, the foolish pig will never stop eating until he is sick and all but ready to drop dead. There's a difference between a hog and the pig. The wild hog got tusks. The pig that y'all eat and y'all love so much is that pink pig. That's the pig that Jesus drove demons into. He ain't drive demons into the hog and the wild hog with the tusks and boars with the hair, tail. Y'all eat the pink pig. There's a difference between a hog and a pig. Okay, the pig is the pink animal that look like that is combined of a rat, a dog, and a cat. That's why I look like that. You go bring up on your phone the picture of a pink pig and the picture of a hog. A wild hog has tusks. Africa, wild hog, they got tusks. Look at the picture of a wild hog and a pink pig. Big difference. The pink pig ain't got no hair on it. Like it look like a rat because it come from a rat. It's mixed with rat, cat, and dog. So y'all who laugh at my Chinese brothers who talk about y'all eating cats and dogs, think about what you eating. Word. If you ain't know that, now you know. Do not act like a pig. I just read that. The horse will stop eating, and the house cat will stop eating when it has enough, but people will not. It is just as the old saying goes, we dig our graves with our teeth. We drive many impurities out of our bloodstream if we do not fill our stomachs with food 2 and 3 times a day. Hey, yo, listen to me. For y'all who truly listen, one thing I don't get, if you was around people and they giving you instructions or saying something that got something to do with relevance, I pay attention. What are you here for? If you ain't here to pay attention, you think, I don't know. It will show though. And it really don't even no need getting mad about that, because a lot of people will die not taking the advice of God. And I ain't gonna do that. Peace be upon their apostle who left a set of. I know what I'm gonna do. If the worst case scenario was that befall, I know what I'm gonna do. We drive out many impurities. We drive many impurities out of our bloodstream. Bro, you got the power to correct yourself. We drive many impurities out of our bloodstream if we do not fill our stomachs with food 2 and 3 times a day. Some Christians never fast until their doctor tells them to do so. I have heard a few times when I go get to the dentist and they say, don't eat nothing 12 hours before you come here. Right? Have you ever heard that doctor say, don't eat nothing before you come here? And what do? You be obedient and you don't eat nothing. For y'all who be obedient, some of y'all, to hell with the doctor say, I'm eating and some of y'all more out of it than that. At least some of y'all, when the doctor tell you, don't eat nothing before you come here, you be obedient. Good. Okay? Well, look, ask yourself, why is he saying it? Why did the doctor say, don't eat nothing before I come here? Because he understands. In order for the medicine to work properly, for your body to have a better chance at functioning properly, it has to be running on empty because it's filled up with bull crap. Have you ever heard somebody say you full of BS? Literally, you are. And to get the BS out is to let it run empty and let your body start to burn out the bull crap, because it will do that. But if you don't let the body burn out the bull crap, it's going to be right there, stay right there. Right? Some Christians never fast until their doctor tells them to. Well, the Bible talks about fasting. The Holy Quran talks about fasting. How come you don't see people fasting, especially people who claim to believe in God? You start adding stuff up. A lot of stuff ain't adding up to what they ought to. They know nothing about stopping their eating for even 1 day, let alone over 3 or 4 days. Jesus fasted 40 days and 40 nights, but don't nobody talk about that or even try to do that. Why? The majority of them are afraid to miss even a single meal. They think they will be sick from missing a meal. This is very ignorant. A dog will stop eating if he gets sick, but not some people. The doctors have to force them to stop eating so that their medicines can give good results, because they know your main trouble is eating too often and eating the wrong kinds of food. Time and again, I have warned you against eating that rotten, stinking pig with millions of worms in his flesh. He is the ugliest and most stinking animal. Even his house and everything about him stinks. If you cook him, he stinks. You ever see people cooking chitlins? The whole damn house stinks. My grandma used to make some of that stuff. Every time, as soon as you walk in the house, you can tell they cooking that stuff. I don't eat chitlins, never had. Word. I think I tried it one time. That joint nasty, it got a weird taste. Pig intestine. People love it. Pig intestines. That's where the feces was at. People love it. They make a meal out of it. I understand in slavery, that's what the slave master gave the slaves. The scraps. We're not in slavery no more. Why do y'all still love scraps? We are not in slavery no more. Why do y'all still love scraps? It reminds me of the people of Egypt. They love the treatment of the Egyptians. We are not in slavery no more. The whole reason y'all got chitlins, pig intestines, was because the slave master gave that to our parents. And they were so excellent in cooking that they took something that's nasty and made the best out of it. I understand that. When that's all you got to work with the best you got. If that's all you got. You hear me? Well, listen. 2026. You got more knowledge. You don't got to settle for scraps. Not only do you settle for scraps, but you love scraps. Someone try to point out to you, you hate them. The pig, he ugly. He stinks. If you cook him, he stink. With his ugly, muddy, reddish eyes, ugly mouth, and his ugly ears, he just ugly. He is the silliest and most brazen animal. The devil certainly did a 100% job in turning the people against everything that God said, thou shalt not do. He has made the word say in works, I shall do. Allah said that these ugly animals, the pig, take away your beauty appearance. Live right, think right, eat right, and do right. You do not have to die to go to heaven to be like angels. You will be like them while you live. I have chosen for quite a few years the month of December for my followers to fast as in the month of Ramadan. It serves as a sign that we, the lost and found nation, are the end of all signs pertaining to the pilgrimage and fasting in the month of Ramadan. We fast the 12th month of the Christian year to relieve ourselves of having once worshipped that month as the month in which Jesus was born. It is now known and agreed upon by the scholars and scientists of religion that nothing of the kind took place 2,000 years ago. Jesus was born not in the month of December, but rather, as God has revealed it, and according to the season that history claims existed in that time, the first or second week in September. The Christians have made holidays, which are used mostly for commercialization. Every single thing this Judeo-Christian society has done, it's for this. Jesus, big business. The holidays, Christmas, supposed to be about Christ, big business. For these people, Christ is just big business. They buy wine, whiskey, beer, and fatten up pigs and hogs for the kill, and roast this divinely prohibited flesh to celebrate what the Christians call the birthday of the Son of Man, Jesus. Jesus condemned such things as drunkenness and the eating of swine flesh. The act they carry on for the celebration of Jesus' birth is perfect for Nimrod, who actually was born on the 5th of December, according to the scientists and historians, as well as the words of God himself spoken to me. Nimrod was an enemy of God and one who came in the last 300 years of the 2,000 years of Moses. He led the white man against the laws of Moses and against the worship of Allah. He, Nimrod, wanted them to worship idols and that which was other than God, as they did in ancient Rome. Let us, my followers, remember the right way. Waste not your earnings in such ways as worshiping and feasting as the Christians do. They only say and do not do. They have taken for themselves the prophet of God and the place of God. In this month of fasting, we shall keep our minds and hearts clean, and we shall not indulge in the eating of meats, land meats. You may eat fish and such fat products which come from land animals, such as butter and cheese. And this month, we should keep our minds on Allah, who came in the person of Master Fraud Muhammad, my God and your God, my Savior and deliverer, and your Savior and deliverer, to whom be praises forever for giving us life after our mental death for the past 400 years. During this month, eat before day and after the sun goes down, if you wish, but not during the daylight hours. This also goes for drinking. Drink whatever you are going to drink, either before dawn or after dark. The eating before dawn is for those of us who love to eat breakfast in the mornings. But if you eat one meal a day, you may eat that meal either before dawn or after dark. It is better for your health, however, if you eat one meal after dark. Keep up prayer and let us be grateful to Allah for his coming in the person of Master Fard Muhammad throughout the month of December and every month. And during this month, let there be no quarreling or disputing in our homes or abroad. I love that. You see how the man said, how can a man say, let there be no disputing in our homes or abroad? Many people not thinking about that. Y'all will let chaos run rampant. Stop disputing. No, y'all see disputing. At your mom, say something. Say something. At my home. And one of our stuff not working. You fool. Neither I nor you can thank Almighty God Allah in the person of Master Fard Muhammad enough for going after the very mainspring of life, that which everyone loves to keep as long as possibly can. Even animals, beasts, insects, fowls of the air, and fish of the sea want to keep their lives. And I do not care how good a Christian you are, or how much you would love to see Jesus, or how much you would like to go to heaven to see Jesus and sit down beside him, as the Christian teacher will do. Smile. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad got smiled at. You never make any preparation to hurry up and get out of this life to find another, do you? Yeah, I believe in I'm gonna live it in. No matter how much I believe in afterlife, I'm gonna try to stay here long as I can, right? Right? You right? Hey, you believe in afterlife? So do I. You want to see Jesus? So do I. But in his time, in God's time, you ain't in no rush, is you? Are you? Word. Some of y'all. The very law of nature teaches us to hold on to this life and not to let it go, if we can help it. We only know of this life and not any other life. You strong Christians and lovers of life beyond the grave and life somewhere in the skies that you imagine, never prove to anyone that you would like to leave this life for that life by killing yourself or telling a doctor not to come to administer medicine or any aid that he can give you when death is approaching. When death is on the line, what you do? You try to stop it, right? Word. Some of y'all. Some of us, damn it, we got to go through that. It is what it is. We believe deeply, or rather you believe lightly. You still try to stop it, right? To some word. Whenever death approaches, you want it to go back and let you stay, right? In view of that, the best thing to do is to try to preserve and keep this life that we have, and know as long as we can and go when we cannot stay it. All right. The only way that we can have life, keep life, and prolong life is by what we eat and how often we eat it. This is the way of life. The Bible teaches us that God will prolong the lives of the righteous. But there is no God who can prolong our lives without checking on what we eat and how often we eat it. We must not be confused, I repeat, with the various advice offered to us from the modern day food and medical scientists. If you take their advice and try to eat all the different kinds of food cooked in there many different ways at all different times of the day, and there are many different suggestions on how much you should eat, you will most certainly die. Ain't no if, and, or but. Once again, I repeat, with the various advice offered to us from the modern day food and medical scientists, if you pick and choose, it will be shown. It's whether you're going to be rewarded for your wisdom or you're going to be embarrassed for your foolishness. But you pick and choose. How would you like it? I repeat, with the various advice offered to us from the modern day food and medical scientists, if you take their advice and try to eat all the different kinds of food, cook in there many different ways without checking is this healthy or not healthy, poisonous or non-poisonous, if you take their advice and try to eat all the different kind of food, cook and there are many different ways at all different times of the day, and there are many different suggestions on how much you should eat, you will most certainly die. The brother said this in 1970 something. It's 2026. Over 50 years ago, the brother wrote this down. Brothers and sisters, I repeat, it will most certainly kill you, with the exception of the Orthodox Jews, which food is good. According to the history of the white man, by Almighty God Allah, in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever, for his life-giving words, teachings, and guidance of us, the lost and found members of the Aboriginal Black nation. The white man began eating meat. They had no stoves and cooking utensils as they had today. When they were driven into the confines of the hills and cave sides of Europe, they ate animal food, beast food, and whatever they could get of flesh to eat. This race, with all of its modern scientific knowledge of how to grow food and receive the best food the earth produces, are still great flesh eaters. They have taught the world of man to eat as they eat. Their medical scientists have learned that meat hastens and destroys the life of man. But they practice eating the very worst meat, the poisonous and filthy swine, wild birds, wild fowl of any kind, and even reptiles, and teach man to eat it, to follow them, and everything they eat and drink means that you are absolutely inviting death. Even to seafood, they drag out in their nets the very scavengers. What y'all like? You think about seafood, what's your favorite seafood? Shrimp, lobster, crab. Bottom feeders. Shrimp, lobster, crab, bottom feeders. These are worst animals to eat. The bottom. Y'all love it. It's in your grocery store, guaranteed. That's some of y'all favorite. You love shrimp, lobster, and crab. A delicacy. Bottom feeder. Why do y'all love scraps? The lowliest of things. You are made in the image of God. He has the best out there for you. Y'all don't even know it. He has the best out there for you. You settle for less. He got the best out there for you. You settle for less. I know God runs the world. One thing about it, I ain't gonna settle for less. If I have a wife, she gonna be the best. You hear me? Whatever's going on, it will be the best. God has the best out there for you. Why settle for less? You don't get it, dude. They drag out in their nets the very scavengers of the water and advise you to eat it because they eat it. We must remember that this race is conscious that they are not to live on this earth for very long. Satan knows his time short. They are therefore eating poisonous food and drink, and eating 3 and 4 times a day will take you along with them very fast. This is the secret knowledge of the death that they cause us to suffer through foods. How do y'all get rid of stuff that you don't want? What do you do if you got rats in your home? What do you do if you got animals around you don't want around? You poison them. Ain't that what you do? How many of y'all have went to the store and brought rat poison and left it right there for the rats to eat? What you think they doing? It's even worse for how they do y'all. They put it in the food. Not only do they give y'all poison, but they get paid off of you eating poison. They get paid billions off of you eating poison. And not only do they get paid off of your life, they get paid off of your death. Damn! The mortician, the cemetery, the funeral system, crematory system, they get paid off of that. They get paid off, they get paid for you being ignorant, and they get paid for you being dead. My goodness, you talking about the matrix? It's like the whole damn time you here, you just a battery source to them. Making their world work. Say it again, Rashada. Yeah, it's just like you just like a battery to them. Basically, that's the whole reason you're here. Everything you do, your life and your death, benefit the world that's killing you. The world benefit off of your ignorance, they get paid billions. The world benefits off of your ignorance, they get paid billions. All of y'all. The world benefits off of y'all death, the grave, the mortician. How much do it cost to put somebody in the ground these days? Thousands? I ain't paying $1 for none of y'all. Look, I ain't paying $1 for none of y'all. It's a shovel. I got 2 shovels. What you gonna do and dig a hole? Don't cost no damn money to bury nobody. Get your damn shovel, dig a hole, like they've been doing. You pay thousands of dollars. Some of y'all pay millions for a funeral. You crazy as hell. Crazy as hell. Thousands, millions for a funeral. They get you while you're alive. They get you when you're dead. They get paid off for every single thing you existing. Is that what you're here for? You don't know. I'm just raising a question. You know, y'all get mad at me for raising a question, point out some common sense to you. But if I was to talk to you like, how your day going? Or something nice and stuff that don't mean nothing. We just have a great time. We can have a great time being ignorant together, can't we? We can just, ignorance is bliss, and we can have a great time being ignorant. We can all just sit down in the name of God and ignorance and just be happy. You fool. The poor, blind, deaf, and dumb lost and found. The poor, blind, deaf, and dumb, lost and found, so-called Negro will eat and drink anything he sees his white master eat and drink. But I want you to stop doing this. I want you to stop doing this ignorant thing and eat the right food that you will find in this book. And eat only once a day. I do not care what kind of work you are doing. Eat only one good meal a day. If your work is light office work or light housework, you could eat once every other day, if you wanted to, without any hindrance. Once you get used to it, your stomach will only ask for a meal at the time that you have trained it to eat. Are you training your stomach, or is your stomach training you? Do you got power and control over when you eat, or do your stomach control you and let you know when you gonna eat and what it want to eat? Questions that need to be answered. Word. And if you don't answer the question, that's still an answer right there. No. G says whether you with me or you against me. If you undecided, hey, you're against me. It's whether you're with me or you're against me. It's whether you on track or off track. In the middle, I'm gonna get to it, means you off track. It ain't no in between. Ain't no middle ground. If God over here, the devil over here, and you say you in the middle, God gonna say, which one are you? Because if you ain't with me, damn it, you away. I don't give a damn if you in the middle and thin line. Just keep your ass over there. It's rather you with me or you over here. Which one is it? In the middle, undecided, get your ass over there. I'm gonna choose faith. You know what I mean? In regard to you who suffer from sugar diabetes, fasting and staying away from sugar and starchy foods is far better than having your limbs cut off, your body, because of your foolish carelessness in eating sweets and starchy foods all times of the day. Cut out that sugar. Do not use any at all. Use honey, but do not use the whole bottle full at one time. If you have too much sugar in your blood, be careful not to eat any sugar of any kind until you get it out. It's common sense. Some doctors will tell you that you have low sugar. But just tell them that you have high life. And you do not eat any potatoes, beans, and bread. Eat vegetables. You may eat chicken if it is raised away from filth. There are poultry raisers who raise chickens in clean places and give them good food such as corn, oats, and other little grains that are not harmful to the chicken or to us. They also give them bread and milk. You do not have to fear eating chickens like these. For y'all who like chicken, if it's good clean chicken, eat all of it you want. Well, at the proper time. When you want, at the proper time. But you can do without, but if you can do without any kind of flesh, that is fine. Whole milk that is clear of TB germs is best for us to drink. But if we cannot get whole milk, we can drink the milk that the dairies have, but we should boil it at a certain temperature in order to kill that probable germ. Drink plenty of milk and eat butter instead of drink plenty of milk and eat butter instead of so much of this artificial butter made of vegetable fat, and you will have better health. Word. And I'm gonna stop there. Pick up on page 51 the model. I done read this before, but it's nothing to read it again. In fact, I don't mind going over things. Word. It sharpens my mind. Word. Every time I read something, if I read it again, something's always stand out new every time. And even every time I read, what's been said gets stuck in my mind more and more. So it's a beneficial thing. Where some people, they might get tired of this and that, but it's a beneficial thing. I like to keep on, when I'm riding down the highway, when I'm on my phone, I always keep on looking at the speed limit and stop sign when I'm on the GPS thing. So I keep reminding myself, what's the speed limit? Many people ride, they don't pay attention. How many times have you rode down the road? Not 5 minutes. You forgot the speed limit. I do all the time, because I'm always in different places. Back road, main road. I'm always somewhere. It's always switching. Always, all the time. This is all the time. Word. Every day. I'm always in different spots. It was always, I got to ask myself, what's the speed limit? How many times you ask yourself what the speed limit is? Something simple. Many people. It's good to be reminded over and over again. Word. It might be 10 seconds. I just look. It was a speed. I know I just looked at it. Word. Gotta make sure again, because it easily will slip out my mind. I'm looking at stuff that's going on. What you mean? I'm focusing on this dude, that dude, this dude. Word. I got around and said, what the speed limit is? I got to watch all these MFs, all these mofos. Y'all be blessed. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.